Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over how to calculate containment and line production needs in Behave7. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail and interpretation, just a little bit at the end. Mostly I want to get you from start to finish in this process. So new worksheet, using a guided workflow, surface and contain, box down here. I am going to select heading, and I want rate of spread and flame length as an output. I don't want anything for wind and fuels, and for fire, I would like all of these outputs. The fuel model I'll use is a fuel model outside my burn unit that is my more active spreading fuel model, in this case GS2. My fuel moistures I'll put as individual size class. For 1 hour fuel moistures, I'm just going to use my lowest end parameters, or what's likely for me to burn under. So 6, 7 for my 1 and 10, and for my live herbaceous, I'm going to use 90 and woody. I will go with a range of winds. We'll go with eye level winds. I'm going to go my range selector from 0 to 10 in steps of 2. And insert range. I need to click aligned with wind, and my slope is 15. We are going to be using a rear attack, which is what you would really be using. Line construction offset is how far off of the fire we'll be working, and we'll be working probably, let's say, 5 feet off the fire based on the fire behavior we'd expect in this area. The time elapsed is how long it took for us to notice the spot outside the line, and there's a lower end to this in this current version of Behave. This could change in the future, but we are going to have an active patrol. We're going to find this spot pretty quickly, so the lowest number we can have right now is a 6. I am going to add a resource. Instead of adding an individual resource or multiple resources, I'm actually just hunting for how much line needs to be constructed for me to catch a spot fire in this scenario. And so I'm going to leave the value and put in, I'll just put actually just general in for now. The resource that I have will arrive quickly, and it will arrive in 2 minutes. So the spot fire was identified in 6 minutes after it started, and the resources were there 2 minutes after. Make sure to change the values there, and then adjust here. Line production rate is what I'm hunting for. So I could put in a line production rate for a known resource using the line production resource tables, which are kind of hard to interpret there. But instead of doing that, I'm actually hunting around for how much line I need constructed. So I'm going to put a range in here and go from 10 chains of line to 120 chains of line in steps of 10. And insert that range. You'll see what happens to that in a second. And this is how long they're on shift for. So they're on shift for 10 hours, let's say. And then click next. You can name it if you want. There is an alert down here that actually you can just disregard. So we've done everything we need to, and you can click run. Here's my inputs. I'm going to just skip those for now. Those adjustments for shading. And then we can look at our outputs. So with our output tables, we can see that we have, this is probably the most informative table that you wanted to look at, with a line construction rate of 10 chains per hour. If our wind speeds are less than 2, we would be able to contain the fire. So under low winds, we wouldn't need that many resources. And just, it's a brief rule of thumb, but a person can construct about a chain of line an hour. Engines, obviously, if you have water, can do more. So that does count in this containment factor. So as winds increase, our likelihood for escape increases, which makes sense. If I only had enough people and resources to construct or to put in 30 chains of line, that includes wet line and knocking the fire down, then I would need to lower my prescription. So if I have fewer people, I need to burn under conditions that will grow fire slower. So this is going to help me identify prescription values and also identify the number of resources I need under different conditions to make sure that a fire that moves outside of the intended area is controlled. Other things you can see here are, again, just different table forms of construction rate. So that is a quick way to get information about containment on a fire outside of your intended area and estimating number of resources you would need to build that line.